Would you rather A, fight Mike Tyson, or B, sound like him for the rest of your life?
Nah, I think I can spin that voice. So yeah, I don't want to fight that motherfucker. Fuck, even at his age. I saw him. I mean, we were talking about. I didn't watch any of it, so I don't know how serious they took it. But it was like a charity fight, wasn't it? So like they weren't really fucking like he didn't pound. He would have fucking killed Roy Jones, right? I'm just.
It was 8 2-minute rounds, so 2/3 of the normal round time. He was getting in at some point. I didn't think he understood that it was a charity event, but he was getting in. Jones did a great job of tying up. He didn't win the fight. It was a draw, but what's that?
Did you watch it?
I've watched the highlights.
Okay, I watched the whole thing. Thankfully, this was so beautiful. I was looking just for updates on Twitter, and somebody had it playing on their laptop while they showed it from a live feed on their phone. So their phone was pointed at their laptop, and I watched the whole thing like that. Tyson could still fight a top 15 heavyweight. Maybe nothing below 15, but he could definitely go toe-to-toe with somebody in that 15. What are you doing? What are you doing? I see the side of the eye bullshit. What are you doing?
This is like your globe. It's like your Harlem Globetrotter.
No, it's not.
Theory about them beating an NBA team. No, he can't beat a top 15 heavyweight in the world. No shot.
Yes, he could. I'm telling you, man. He held back against Roy Jones because Roy Jones sounded like there was a freight train trying to escape his esophagus after the second round. And Tyson actually, for once in his life, showed humanity and did not beat the piss out of him because he could have lit that son of a bitch up. And the only reason Roy Jones was tying up Tyson is because Tyson was letting him tie him up because it was an exhibition. Tyson is still capable of going 6 solid rounds with a top 15 heavyweight. I'm just saying. The hell, honestly, though.
What happened? Do you know what happened in his last 2 fights as a professional?
Yes. He was a fucking head case, though. I think his head is in a better place.
Okay.
It's high on marijuana, and it's put him in a better zone. But Alan, you say you can spin the voice because again, would you rather fight Mike Tyson once or sound like him for the rest of your life? But you wouldn't just go one fight, win or lose, and then you don't have to sound like Mike Tyson for the rest of your days?
No, because he could fucking kill me. Like, even just by accident. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it would just be unceremonious. Like, I would rather he, like, break my jaw and, like, break my neck or something, but he'd, like, fucking hit me in the gut and I'd, like, fucking shit myself on the inside and die of sepsis. Like, it would just be fucking unglamorous as fuck. Yeah, nope, nope. I'm good. I will talk like him. I'm a wordsmith. I'm fairly certain I'll just figure it out.
I'm a wordsmith.
Okay, exactly.
So is it the same parameters as what we saw or what some of us witnessed on Saturday night? 8 2-minute rounds and it's an exhibition?
Well, I mean, considering that Roy Jones Jr.
And by the way, I want to say you sat there and you talked about what he did to Roy Jones Jr., a former light heavyweight who's also 51 years old, who hasn't fought in a couple of years and is probably past his prime longer than Tyson. You know what he did to Roy Jones? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Good. Go on.
So you have to fight Tyson. We'll give you the same parameters, but the facade of exhibition is off. It's a sanctioned fight.
Mm-hmm.
And look, it's like I said, it doesn't mean it's a long fight, but it's kind of like the rip the Band-Aid off or tear it off slowly. Could you tear off the Mike Tyson Band-Aid slowly by sounding like him for the rest of your days?
No, I tell you what, I think I'll go 8 2-minute rounds with the former champ. And here's why, because one, sounding like him isn't going to make me any money. Fighting him is going to make me some money. And two, I think even if I get knocked out, I'm not going to get killed. I might lose a few brain cells. I might up my risk of CTE by 1%. But I think I weigh 210. I think I could bulk up to about 220 given the right circumstances. I'm not saying I could do any harm to him, but I could get to a physical fitness level to at least somewhat protect myself. Dance around a little bit, throw a low blow, taunt a little bit, do a little chicken swivel. If I can make a cool meal, fight that fucker. If you don't, you're always famous. You'll be on YouTube. At least you'll be a YouTube celebrity. I could boost this fucking podcast up to a point where we can make some money.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't do any worse than the guy who fought Jake Paul and got the shit out. What was that guy?
Nate Robinson. Yeah, that's so bad. So bad.
Oh, that poor son of a bitch. That showed me what the slightest bit of training, the kind of edge, the most limited training can get you in a fight with parameters, like a boxing match. Like Jake Paul learned how to box over the last 6 months.
Yeah, he just
kicked the shit out of a guy.
Here's the thing about that. The previous 3 fights were actually professional boxers, okay, who were it was a promoted, sanctioned event for those 6 individuals, and they got paid accordingly. The Nate Robinson thing was a celebrity thing. I think they got paid, but it wasn't a sanctioned boxing match. How do you think you feel if 6 other professionals are saying that they are the card for a celebrity boxing match and 2 retired champions in an exhibition?
Well, I'd say that apparently you haven't impressed enough people to get yourself into the mainstream in the sport that you made your profession, where a former NBA guy and a YouTube star, if they're selling the ticket, then you should be thanking them.
Yeah, sure.
I'd be like, yeah, I mean, as a lifelong boxing fan too, this will hurt me to say, but I'd probably look at the undercard in this case and be like, hey, professional boxers, this was probably a bad career decision. I'm just saying.
Y'all ain't doing it.
Hey, more power to you, but fucking, yeah, boxing's dead. So, sorry.
There's a good boxing match this Saturday.
I would say
there's still a couple.
There's one this Saturday. Errol Spence is fighting Danny Garcia. I don't know. I wouldn't pay pay-per-view to watch it unless you're a big boxing fan.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that might be Alan's point, if I don't want to put words in his mouth, is that boxing is so bad that you don't even know who the top named fighters are in what used to be the sport of kings.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad that I know who Jake Paul is, and I can only name probably 3 other professional heavyweights.
And that's a shame because the guy who's fighting this Saturday, in my opinion, is top 3 pound for pound. The best welterweight in the world.
But back to the question, I would fight Mike Tyson, so I didn't have to sound like him for the rest of my life. Although after fighting Mike Tyson, I might consequentially sound like him for the rest of my life. But I would like to see how I would. Obviously, there's 0 chance of me winning. Like, you were at least like pound for pound, like the same. I won't say the same build, but he weighs like 210, 215. Mm-hmm. You said you weigh 210.
Yeah.
And just like the difference in human skill and ferociousness that would exist in that small frame of time would just be mesmerizing.
I was going to say, can we pause for a second and just... Wes, in one sentence, was like, you're fucking outrageous. He couldn't compete with a top 15 heavyweight. But then turned around and was like, I got 8 rounds, 2 minutes, fucking against Mike Tyson. No, the fuck you don't, sir. I am sorry.
51-year-old guy. I could probably like foul off a couple Greg Maddux change-ups now.
Yeah, well, Greg Maddux change-up was like 75. I fucking hope so. That's fast at the batting cage.
You asked me what I wanted to do. I told you what I wanted to do. Mike Tyson can't compete with the top 15 heavyweight in the world right now. But I could get about a round and a half in with him. 2 minutes.
No, you wouldn't last the round.
Single?
You wouldn't last the round.
You take a fucking liver shot and it's a wrap.
It's probably right. Yeah, the liver. It had to be no. Well, yeah. He
like you wouldn't even know where to block on your body. Like from forehead to like groin, you wouldn't wouldn't know where to put either of your two hands to stop whatever was coming your way.
I don't want to sound like him for the rest of my life, all right? I'm going to fight him one time, make a lot of money.
No, and I agree with you on that point, but the length of time you expect to stand in front of him is our only point of contention here.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be 2 minutes of any round.
Tyson voiceover work for the rest of your life.
You heard me. I had a great one time, yeah.